Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. In a previous video, which I will link down below, I talked about some bag drama moving into this Kipling tote from the black shoulder bag that I really liked, but wasn't really realistic for me for the long term. Here is the inside of the Kipling, and with it I'm using the bag organizer that I DIY'd for the black shoulder bag. You can tell from the fuzzy white yarn that I stitched to the edges of the plastic canvas material. I showed how I made this bag organizer in a video which I will also link down below. Now this bag organizer is a little too small for this tote because that black shoulder bag is of course smaller than this tote, which is why that didn't work for me beyond the 7 months that I really tried to make it work. But ever since I moved back into this Kipling tote, the size is really just so much better for my needs because everything I need really does fit and nothing is smushed. In this specific video clip, the laptop itself isn't in the bag, but the sleeve for the laptop is, and behind that I even have a clipboard that has some documents that need to be notarized. Now for travel, this can work as a personal items bag because the width is 17 inches, which is the limit of most airlines. The depth is 7 inches and the height of the bag is about 12 inches. But I know I really have to make a bag organizer that is specifically for the Kipling tote, so I ordered the same material that I used for the previous organizer, which is very affordable. This is needlepoint canvas that I ordered from Shopee. I will share the link in the description box. I ordered 4 pieces of the largest sheets available, and each sheet cost only 87 Philippine pesos, which converts to around $1.60 US. I really like using this material for making my bag organizers. The material is plastic, so it is sturdy, but it is also pliable and it is almost weightless, and the sheets are also very thin, so it occupies almost no space in the bag compared with those felt bag organizers. Those can add bulk to the inside of the bag. Now the main problem of using a bag organizer that is smaller than the actual bag is that of course some things will no longer fit in the organizer, so I tend to place them beside the organizer, like along the sides, and then those items quickly slide towards the bottom of the bag underneath the organizer. It is very annoying, as you can see here. So I'm going to make a new bag organizer, and the first step is of course to take the measurements, which is more accurate if taken from the inside of the bag. The depth of the bag is 6.5 inches and the width of the bag is 16.5 inches. And so I made the markings on the needlepoint canvas in order to make the base of the bag organizer. And this material is super easy to cut, and because it is literally a grid, there is no way you can cut this crooked even by mistake. Now this time I have decided to cut off a little bit off of the corners of the base because I want the shell of the organizer to have rounded corners. I did not make rounded corners for the previous organizer that I made, and it did make the black shoulder bag look more boxy than it is. I will insert a picture here so you can see what I mean. I wanted to avoid that boxy look with this new organizer, so this is how I thought of doing it. And I have decided that the height of the organizer will be 6.5 inches, which will mean I will just have to cut one whole piece of the canvas in half lengthwise so that there will be no wasted parts. These side panels will have to curve around the base like so. Next, I marked the middle point of the base, so the joint of the side panels will be in the center. I wanted to make an effort to make the shell symmetrical at the very least. And here is the shell all stitched together. As you can see, the corners are indeed rounded and the joints of the side panels are symmetrically placed. I had to add a smaller piece to one side because the original 2 panels I had cut were not wide enough, and that's okay. The thread that I used for stitching is this nylon twine. It's the exact same thread that I use to bind my handmade notebooks. This is very soft but very sturdy. They don't break and have never broken on me or on anyone else who uses the notebooks that I made. Next, I need to make the individual compartments of the organizer. And to make the measurements, I literally had to place each item and measure the space they would need, starting with the biggest item, which is my laptop pouch, with the laptop inside, and also with a charging brick and charging cable inside the pouch, because of course those are essential. And by the way, this laptop pouch is a little annoying because the laptop compartment opens upwards from the top, but the pocket for the accessories opens to the side, so it's not very accessible. I just did the same for all the other items that I need to carry in the bag so I can stitch in the dividers for their compartments. And I actually made the bag organizer while I was watching Bodies, which is a new series on Netflix. It's very interesting. I highly recommend it. At this point, the organizer is not yet completely finished, but I was already a little tired for the night, so I decided to just use it like this for a few days, see if I made the right compartments for each stuff, and just continue making the bag organizer on a different day. Now, I did make some mistakes making the compartments for my eyewear. I made one of them too small. I need to bring around my eyeglasses for driving in a hard case, but I also need to bring around two different fit-over sunglasses. One is for when I am driving to use with the driving eyeglasses, and a larger one that I can fit over my reading glasses, which are larger. I only wear the larger fit-overs when I'm reading in a bright environment, like when I am al fresco or by a window on a bright day. As you can see, they are a tight squeeze in that one single compartment, and I did eventually fix that on a different day, and I will show you later on in this video. As for the rest of my stuff, I just squeezed them in where I could, and at this point, some smaller items could not even fit anymore. But after a couple of days of living with a bag in real life using this bag organizer, I went out for errands and a long drive. And here are the final compartments of the organizer that I decided on. I added in this compartment that is already outside of the shell, and this part will go on the front side of the bag. This compartment is structured so that it can be wider or narrower as needed, and when it's empty, it can just go flush against the side of the shell. But the rest of the compartments inside the main shell are fixed. This weird small compartment here at the upper right corner is for my coin purse because this laptop pouch is actually thinner on the part that goes there. And at this point, I have already decided that these are the final compartments of the organizer, and it's time to place some finishing touches, specifically on the edges, using this variegated yarn that I have had for a few months. I purchased this online because I wanted to crochet something with it, but I never got around to actually creating any crochet projects with this yarn, so I thought it would be nice to use this to wrap the edges of all the compartments so that they will be more visible from above, because like I said, the material of the needlepoint canvas is very thin. And wrapping the edges with this yarn will also make the edges less sharp because the material is, it's really quite thin. This is the same reason why I wrapped the edges of the previous bag organizer using white fuzzy yarn, but this time I wanted to place some color into this version. Some ends of the yarn are just dangling, and I honestly don't know how to hide them, but the knots there are crucial. I'm just hoping that when the bag is fully packed, then the dangling bits will not be visible anymore. And from here on out, it's just a matter of packing the bag. I decided to give each fit over sunglasses their own compartment, as you can see. And I might sew in a soft fabric lining on those eventually just to protect them from scratches. And what will go into that front compartment really are the bulky, fluffy things that I usually use for travel, like tissue, wet wipes, and my menstrual pads. The only thing that I want to carry around for travel, which doesn't fit, is my mini umbrella, but I can just place it on top when I am out and about in a different city. I don't really need an umbrella inside my bag when I'm just in the city where I live because I drive my own car here, which always has a long full-sized umbrella in the back seat. And now finally, here's a last look at the bag now that it's organized and packed the way I usually have it for every day in the city where I live. So no need for the mini umbrella, but when I am also traveling, there is a need for the mini umbrella. There is space for it at the top. I have used the short corner zippers to cinch the bag at the top corners, so it will give the illusion of being smaller than it really is. And the top slouches down because the organizer is only 6.5 inches tall, and the items inside the bag aren't very tall either. So that's good, especially if I want to use this as a personal items bag on the plane. I have attached two different earbuds on the outside D-ring just for easy access. And here's how the bag looks from the side and how it looks from the other side. I think it's very nice. And from the opening, with the corners cinched with the short zippers, the contents are very secure. I don't have the laptop in here because I don't need to bring it here every day, but there is space for the laptop whenever I need to bring it. And as you can see, even with the corners cinched, I have quick access to the items that I need, like fitovers, my other eyeglasses, hand sanitizer, wet wipes, and tissue. I don't need to fish around for anything. Each item has its own special place, and no space is wasted. Okay, I do hope I last in this bag and setup for the next couple of years. I really don't like dealing with any bag drama, and I don't like switching bags. I want to pick a bag, set it up, and use it for years, preferably for the rest of my life. Well, cross fingers. We will see. Thanks for watching. Bye.